On this episode of I Play With Knives, we review the Microtech Utx85 clone to see if it's worth it from DHgate. Alright, to get started, open up your DHgate app and type in Utx85. That is going to bring you to the options there. Now keep in mind the Utx85 has a different bolt pattern than the other Microtech clones. The Ultratech has a 6 pattern that is evenly spread out, but the Utx85 has 2 of the actual bolts or the screws that are really close together. So take a look and make sure you're choosing the option that has the bolt patterns that are closer together. And if you're going to choose one of these, go ahead and choose one that has good reviews. And here's the knife that I purchased. It is from Crazy Store 888. It was $39.75. And on the right hand side, here's the closest thing I could find to a Hellhound UTX85, and it is $280 and it's out of stock. About 3 weeks later. This one actually came pretty quick in the mail, gave me some good notifications, and everything went pretty smooth with this one here. As you can see from the box, they try to copy all the Microtech packaging, including made in the USA, which it is not the case. So if you buy one of these from a private party and the box looks like this may not even be the most up-to-date box that they have on the product. So just be aware, I am throwing that away right now. For the internal box, just standard cardboard box. And ooh, let's take a look at this. It has a nylon belt clip, and it looks nicer than other ones I've received, but I don't think I'm even ever going to use something like this. Will it fit in a mole gear? Nope. It won't even fit like in mole gear, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it away. There you go. Next thing is, let's put that knife to the side. Let's put the screwdriver to the side, and let's look at the paperwork that they knock off and send you with these. So this is a product manual. It is not very crisp in the printing, so it looks kind of like a copy, and it goes through all the actual different types of the Microtech knives in here. So it looks like they have the Ultratech, the actual Halo, and they even have a knife registration, which won't work for this, to make it look authentic. And then also on the back, it has this genuine Microtech products with some sort of SKU or identifying information on there, which this knife doesn't have. Let's see if I can get in to this. Yeah, it has some identification process with the real authentic knives, which this knife doesn't even have any of those numbers on it. So it is just buyer beware if you receive something that looks like this from a third-party seller on the street. It probably fake. So here's the screwdriver set. Sorry about the picture right here. Let's see if I can make it a little bit better. Not so much. But anyways, this is just for the tri-wing screwdriver for the knife, so you can actually take the screws off. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. Let's open this knife up. So this is the UTX85 clone. So from what I mentioned in the beginning, do you see the bolt pattern on here where it's different than a Ultratech? And by the way, UTX85 means it's 85% of the size of an Ultratech. Let's see here. It looks like a pretty good knife. What we know from these knives is the coating on the outside does not hold up. The X button looks... I know that they have black X buttons on some models, but this one The X button looks all right. The tri-wing bolts look good. Actually the Microtech claw is pretty crisp. And hey, it fired the first time. Awesome. Now this Hellhound blade, that was a good one. Hellhound blade, you can see the milling marks in it, and it looks all right. It's probably not anything special, as in special steel like they would normally have in a Microtech knife, but you know what, it looks good, and makes me want to get a real one. Let's take a look at the UTX85 compared to all the other out the fronts clones that I have here. That is from the Troodon clone, and here's from the Troodon Mini clone. You can watch all those videos. I'm going to link them into the video here, and you can see that this is a good, just medium-sized, you know, out the front versus the full size and then the actual Troodon Mini. You know, on a side note, I don't even consider the large clone now a Troodon clone because it's not even right. Let's go ahead and weigh this clone, counterfeit, whatever you call it. I've added the specs on the right-hand side from the Microtech website, and it looks like the weight on this should be 3.1 ounces, and it's 3.32. Now let's go ahead and measure the length of this clone. So the blade length and the overall length should be about 7.51 inches, and the blade length should be 3.11 inches. So let's go ahead and look at the overall length of this thing. So as we measure it up, 3.11 blade length, it's pretty close. Maybe a little bit longer because the Hellhound, and overall 7.51. It's pretty close. It may be a little bit different for the Hellhound. The last test we're going to do is to see how sharp this knife is out of the box. We do that by cutting the edge of a piece of paper. So let's go ahead and see how it performs. Let's see again. I mean, it's not that sharp. We've seen this with other Microtech clones where it isn't the sharpest. It doesn't mean that you can't sharpen these blades up, but they don't really come out of the box, as you see here, that sharp. If this knife was pretty sharp, you should be able to just slide. Yeah, see that? I should be able to just slide that blade straight through the edge of that piece of paper without it rolling over and balling up. So it's cuts, but it doesn't cut very cleanly, which means the blade isn't that sharp. I still like it. It's still a nice blade for now, but it needs to be sharpened. It's kind of dull. It won't even cut hair, which I'm going to start doing on tests moving forward. And we need to sharpen it. Overall, for 39 bucks, it's a pretty good knife. I would consider buying the real thing based off of this clone. The X button is a little different. I think it's not as accurate as it should be on the clone. But I really like how this knife fits in your hand. I mean, it's comfortable. It seems to fire every time you hit this button, and it doesn't fail. So I think it'll be a good knife. That's just my thoughts. So overall, I would buy it. Give it a thumbs up. Thanks guys for watching this video. If you like this video, go ahead and click on the like button, and don't forget, we're almost to 1,000 subscribers. Please consider subscribing to our channel. Keep them sharp and take it easy.